Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So, as mentioned earlier in the week from the Another Eden official global channel and Scott, our community manager, there was a live stream a few days ago, and in it they did announce that this update will come, in this case, 24 hours from now. So it's going to be the same version, update 3.3.100, the Cliffs of Wyrmrest Wyrz Saga 1. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. So Wyrz is the lady on the left, which should be a free character. Should be interesting how good she is in comparison to some of the newest gacha units that's associated with this update. And on the right, you see the first of a brand new era of gacha units for WFS, Cerius. And this one is not serious like I am very serious, but more like serious as Cerius. And when I say a new era, as many of you have learned from the live stream and maybe on the Discords or subreddits, as of this unit, and I believe all subsequent units released as a new unit, either an AS, ES, Alter, or normal style unit, including this normal style, you're going to have the ability of these units to stellar awaken them. So what that means in a nutshell is that when you summon the unit, you can get either the 4.5 or the 5-star normal, which is, the standard way you can do it. You can still side grade the unit from 4.5 to 5-star with 5 chants and the appropriate book or tome, which you can find in the Red Key dungeon. That's pretty standard as well. Now, the difference is, as of now, if you pull on the featured banner, which is Cerius's banner, and you hit him as a 5-star, he's going to get 3 credits or charges towards his Stellar Awakened, and basically allows him to have an additional move set, which will make him even more powerful than right out of the box. Now, the question is, what happens if you pull a 4.5? Well, if you pull a 4.5, you end up with 0 out of 3 charges to get yourself to a Stellar Awakened version. That means you're going to have, unfortunately, a relatively crippled version of Cerius, even if you side grade him to the 5-star. Now, you do get free universal items every month, 1 per month, even as a free player. So after 3 months, you can eventually get him fully awakened to the Stellar Awakened. However, obviously, this applies to all future units, and so I'll go over this a little bit more in my Should You Summon video tomorrow. But you have to be a lot more careful in deciding which unit you're going to not only pull for, but which unit you're going to be willing to use those special, upgrading items, since they are extremely rare, or you have to just essentially pull until you hit the 5-star on the featured banner, in which case that will be fine. Anyways, obviously this is a new side episode similar to IDA Part 1, 2, and 3. There are 3 chapters in the Wyrz Saga 1, and all of those are released with the first saga as such. And I believe there is actually bonus chronostones for finishing all 3 chapters to a total of 1,000. I don't remember if it's 500, 250, 250, or whatever a breakdown is into. But however, you do get 1,000 free stones grinded out as an additional reward if you finish it early enough. This also only requires Chapter 13 of the main story, so if you're new to the game, you can actually access it fairly early on. Chapter 13 is essentially where you are kind of relatively new in the game. You can actually, at that point, usually access a lot of side episodes out there, including a lot of the free collaboration units and collaboration events. So, for example, there's the Chrono Cross Complex Stream collab. There are the there's 2 versions of the Tales of collabs. There are 2 versions of the Persona 5. So there's actually quite a few things out there for brand new players. If you're a veteran to the game, you know what's up. You probably finished everything anyways, in which case you'll fully qualify to do this. Now, Wyrz is a new character, and I'm looking forward to, I guess, getting her and maybe playtesting her out depending on how she is, and obviously my time commitment to the game as well. But more importantly, how is Cerius? How serious is Cerius? Her. Okay, so first of all, he does VC in for piercing flash stance, which is obviously Pierce Zone. When he VCs in, he can apply physical res down 25%, which no one's VCing in anything because really he does have an ability to deploy preemptive Pierce Zone. Now, very similar to AS Yukino. But this one, instead of giving you a type shield, will allow you to go power int down on all enemies 25%, pierce resist down 50%, and you can use the same move on the second rotation to awaken the zone if you don't have anyone to awaken the zone already. That's pretty good in terms of offensive support because you're getting that pierce resistance down, and as you know, power and int down is still quite nice to help you survive. He also has abilities to apply Earth Pierce attack on all enemies, with also applying Weapon Break Pierce. So that's a very powerful ability, and it's also one of his main DPS moves. And if you consume a Blast Bolt, which is basically his way of storing up orbs, then you can do additional damage. And basically, you get, I guess, 1 stack of Blast Bolt in the beginning of the battle, and you gain stacks at the end of turn, depending on the number of pierce moves done during that turn for a max stack of 5. If you're wondering, it resets at the end of every turn, so it'll consume it all if you haven't already consumed it with a move, and then it'll restart based on the number of moves done that turn. So a lot of his moves will be based on having as many blast bolts as possible. Obviously, in this case, you really only need 1 blast bolt in general to do the damage, but still, it's something to keep in mind. Other than that, he can help with guaranteed crit power and speed boost to himself only, and he gets a specialized mode called Siege Mode, so very similar to the Almas of the world or the Felminas of the world, where basically when you get 3 orbs stacked, which is in this case his Blast Bolt stack, it's going to do it at the start of turn. So it won't work until turn 2, provided you do enough Pierce moves on turn 1, and it's going to boost him dramatically to Siege Mode, which is power of the user plus 100, Barrier Pierce on all moves, and also status immunity. So it is pretty crazy that he's going to get automatic Barrier Pierce, and as an Earth Pierce unit, that might come into handy depending on the fights we're going to experience. I'm sure the new episode has something weak or vulnerable to Earth Pierce, and so this guy is going to obviously do very, very well. One last thing I want to mention is, on top of all those offensive things, most of them, to be fair, are all boosting himself, similar to someone like Sesta. But the main thing is he does also apply, like Sesta, singular focus, which is that physical mental focus on himself, and crit damage up on himself as well. So he can do a lot of damage and he boosts himself. Now, this is only on the normal version. If you are fortunate enough to hit him as a 5-star right off the bat during this banner, you'll get his access to the Stellar Awaken move, and you'll have to watch the live stream from Scott to really see how that works, but it's basically a separate gauge, a separate move that you can put on, and it does the strongest 5-star move damage-wise twice in a row, and it also increases damage. And if you do it while in a charged up Stella Burst, which again, you have to watch the video for the demonstration because it's quite convoluted. All you have to know is it's going to do a ton of damage, but remember that this is locked behind an awakened unit. So again, if you pull on this banner tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll discuss the pros and cons of that, you have to hit him as a 5-star, otherwise it will not have access to that Stellar Awakened move, at least not for a few months. Alright, so obviously there's going to be maps and areas, dungeon, music. The music, by the way, is great. Check it out on the live stream from Scott as well. And more interesting is you have a specialized challenge for those who love Astral Archives. I don't really like Astral Archives, at least the challenge mode. However, I'm going to be doing this one for sure. We are going to be able to battle Aldo for the chance of unlocking him as a free Stella Awakened unit. So unlike Cerius, which has obviously some gating in terms of pulling for this specific 5-star unit, Aldo will come for free provided he's already 5-star and I'm sure all of you have him as 5-star already. I don't know how difficult the fight will be. Yeah, but that should be interesting, and I will try doing that tomorrow once the update drops. Now, the problem is that obviously this is an in-game update, same version, so I won't have access to it until everyone else does as well. I won't be able to play nearly as much as I would if this was a new version update. So you can read some more details on how to upgrade him as a 5-star or how you awaken him and so on and so forth. You can just read through all that, but hopefully the information I gave you at the beginning of the video gives you some indication of what challenges may come when you are pulling for new units versus just side grading them like before. You won't be able to do that just as is. Now, that being said, new banners, and you can see some pickup bonuses, which, like I said, if you pull him right now in the featured banner tomorrow, you'll get him Stellar Awakened automatically. And there's some banner here, which is, by the way, summonable with free stones if you have 1,000 stones. Guarantee one of the following 5-star units on the 10th encounter. So for those who want to guarantee one of the 10, not bad. We'll discuss that tomorrow as well. Some replay quests. And these are the updated skills to Aldo before he has to be Stellar Awakened. So that's going to be great for people who are still new to the game and haven't gotten to this level where they can fight Aldo. But anyways, you can read the effects, makes him a lot more powerful, and I'm looking forward to getting him. And there's still some catch-up stuff. Check it out. So let me know in the comments below. I know a lot of you have expressed some displeasure with the new upgrading system. I will give you my thoughts more on that tomorrow, but I have had a video about what I thought about it, and it wasn't very positive, but there have been changes since the video was made a couple of weeks ago. I'll put the link in the description below if you want to check it out and you haven't already. That being said, even with the changes now, I would say that it's quite a daunting task to upgrade units in the future. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.